This is an English Stars review lesson. Come with me. Hi everyone, my name's Amy and welcome to my YouTube channel. I teach live online lessons and I'm a qualified teacher who has a master's in education. Okay, so a bit of a brain game to start the lesson. This is a nice interactive activity that gets children thinking about word class and how to use it. It's interactive because I'm able to allow the children who are taking part in the lesson to roll the dice. So on my screen, I can give control and a child can roll the dice. So this dice is rolled on number 4, which is the first one actually that we got in the lesson. So that tells you have to change an adjective. So using this sentence below, on the beach, the girl quickly looked for shells. What you're going to do is you're going to identify any adjectives that are there. Are there any there? If there are there, we're going to change them. We don't actually have any adjectives here. We've got no describing words, so we can add in some adjectives. And we talked about this, about where we could add them in and how many we would need. Okay, so yeah, we can add them in just before beach. Adjectives go just before nouns, so we can add it in here just before beach, just before girl, and also before shells. We rolled the dice again, and this time we got the number 3. No, we didn't. We got the number 2. That's right. So we got the number 2, and the children had to change a noun. So we had a lovely definition of what a noun was from one of the members of the group, and then the children identified the nouns in the sentence and had a go of changing them up and making a whole new sentence. It was really good work. In English Stars, we have been focusing on this text by Michael Morpurgo. It's called The Giant Necklace. This is our 3rd lesson in a series of lessons, and it's probably technically one of the hardest, most challenging reading parts. So that's why I spent the first part of the lesson going through the vocabulary that we would be seeing. There's nothing worse for a child reading to read a text and then be put off with all the difficult vocabulary that they come across, especially if they don't know the meanings of those words or maybe can't even read those words. So I like to pre-teach words and vocabulary, and I like to use GIFs to do this. So these are some of the words that we talked about, and we tried to have a go of guessing their meanings based on the GIF. Some of the GIFs work really, really well. Some of them are maybe not so good. This is not a teaching lesson, this is a review lesson, so I'm not going to go through all of the meanings, but the children in the class, we had a good conversation and we wrote down some synonyms, words that mean the same. Next, we read twice through our text, taking some time to identify those words that we had just read and trying to remember their meanings. We broke down some of the sentences and we discussed similes and personification in this paragraph. Next was the writing part of the lesson. The children had to imagine that they were the main character and that they were standing on the beach looking out to sea. If you've been following the story so far and you've been following the lessons, you'll know that the setting has changed from a beautiful, hot, positive mood to a stormy, more mysterious, darker atmosphere. The first thing the children had to do was to say or describe how the setting had changed. Then they had to zoom in into a really small detail. Perhaps this would be a color of something, or maybe the texture. Some of the children chose the texture of the shells, or the colors of the rock or the waves. We had lovely words like inky and dark, really good. The 3rd sentence, I wanted the children to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. What can you see far away in the distance? Can you see an island, for example, somebody said, or the holiday cottage where the children are staying? Are there any sounds you can hear? For the 4th sentence, zoom back in again onto our character and spot a tiny detail, maybe a smell, maybe a taste of something. And sentence 5, include that all-important emotion of how the character is feeling. We really do have some fantastic writers in the group, and children were more than happy to share their writing either by reading it out, showing it, or typing it in the chat. Some really good work. Well done. Thank you for watching today's review of English Stars, and thank you for bearing with my terrible voice. Hopefully by next lesson the lurgy will have gone and my voice will have come back. If you'd like to join a great group of learners in English Stars, please check the description below and click on the link, and I'll see you there next time. Bye!